See how our connection is. All right, we are live. Look how good that looks. All right, hey guys, it is Monday, October 1st, the beginning of October, the beginning of the last quarter of the year, the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I am here with my friend, the amazing and talented and funny Peter Och. He doesn't like me to call him Dr. Och. Or anything like that. I remember that from the original one. So we're in a different place. The Citrus Club closed early today, and they closed early on Friday. So the Grand Bohemian, Justin and Andrew were kind enough to allow me to come and do the show in the Boisendorfer Lounge, which is why that lighting is gorgeous. So give us a thumbs up. Let us know you can hear us or see us. We have a little music on. We got a little shaking at the bar over here. I mean, the sound in this room is insane. And Willow, who's behind the scenes, got me all gussied up in this gorgeous scarf with the pin. And then, of course, you've got Peter's breast cancer awareness, not only the pin, but the tie. So give us a thumbs up. Let us know you can hear us or see us. There might be a little echo in here, but that's because this room is meant for, like, piano. All right, so Shirley's given a thumbs up. Shirley says, thank you for all your support with so many women dealing with this. Amen to that, Shirley. And so Peter's got a fantastic story, and he's got some new stats we want to talk about, and of course we want to talk about the new Tronco line and Power Onco. So welcome.
Well, thank you, Ted.
I'm happy to have you here. See, it's not so bad. It's just two dudes having a conversation.
Exactly. I love to come to Orlando to see you every time.
Oh my God, we always have a good time. But you're doing so much amazing work. And then you have the products that have launched. You've got a great team behind you. But you know, people might not remember from May some of your background. So tell them a little bit about you. You're an MD and a PhD, hematology and oncology.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yes, I'm MD, a board-certified medical oncologist, hematologist, who also did basic cancer research and got a PhD based on that in molecular and cancer biology. So I delved into the molecular background behind cancer, carcinogenesis, you know, how cancer cells are developed and how they survive and how they are able to move and start growing in other organs, which is actually a very complicated process. So that's my background. I also saw, you know, patients in community practice.
All right, so let's make sure you can see the picture. Can you see it okay on your end? Okay. Shirley, it might be your camera, or maybe you're doing too many of those lunges things that you do. She's got the lunge challenge. Sandra, 15 years this month. She is, we don't even say cancer-free anymore. What do we say? We say, there's a word for it, but she's 15 years, remission. Why cancer research? Why was that important to you? Obviously, when you went into med school, I'm guessing that's not why you went to med school. So how did you get involved with cancer and cancer research?
Well, my mother was a pediatric oncologist, or is a pediatric oncologist, and she frequently took us to see young children who are on chemotherapy to visit, you know, just to visit them, playing cards with them, helping them out. And when I said us, it's me and my brother. And you know, there was always an amazing experience to see these young people fighting for their lives, and I think it was a very deep. It was deeply, I guess, chiseled in my soul.
Sure, it made a huge impact on you as a child.
Absolutely.
And it obviously, it's so funny to me, not in a funny way, but I'm amazed at how that kind of stuff stays with a child forever. So
Absolutely.
You can be impacted at such an early age, and look, you've made it your life's work.
Yes.
Based on, this is a new environment for me here. I'm sorry, I got a fly riding around my head. I mean, I'm not twitching, I promise. I'm not finally going down the rabbit hole, guys. But a lot of people come on the show and they talk about how they were impacted at an early age. So what did you want to do different? Because MD and PhD, so why the PhD?
Well, I think it's very important to also understand what's the basis of disease, how it develops, and what are the molecular problems and glitches that cause cancer, for example. And then you would understand much better how to address it, how to attack it. And the PhD and the basic research also gives one an ability to look up things better, to find things, to do the research in clinical data. You know, also to do translational things, put from a lab or from an idea into clinical practice. That connection is easier to make once you know both sides.
And so, that, I mean, you hadn't had enough school, so you had to go back for the PhD, I guess. What made you come up with Nutronco? And talk about it, because remember, it's been several months, and so we've gained, as everything else, we've gained a lot of viewers, and maybe some viewers haven't gone back and watched all the shows. Why, I don't know. But they haven't gone back and watched all the shows. So talk about the beginnings of Nutronco. And honestly, as a practicing physician, as a PhD, doctor, you could have just practiced, and you knew it was important, you felt it was important to bring a change or to talk about change and to do things different.
Yes, over the many years, I really got frustrated on how little options we have, how few options we have to give good nutrition to cancer patients. Nutrition is really not very well taught in today's medicine. It's very recognized and underappreciated, even in cancer patients who really depend a lot on a good nutrition. So over the years, it was extremely frustrating for me to see patients with a low blood protein, losing weight, wasting away muscle, and I really couldn't recommend anything that I found high enough quality or a good product with a good pure protein and no added sugar, and also with additional benefits. So I decided many years ago that I'm going to design and create a product which is based on scientific data that specifically helps for patient populations. And of course, I started with cancer patients.
Of course.
So that's the
So what happened with, I mean, if you talk about sugar a little bit, because we hear that sometimes, we hear about sugar, we hear that, and because you mentioned it, I want to bring it up. A lot of people believe that, from a nutrition standpoint, that if you are ingesting a lot of sugar, that is what cancer feeds on. Is that false or true?
The jury is still a little bit out on that. We know that sugar does not cause cancer. Now, indirectly, it can cause obesity and problems, with insulin, increased insulin, insulin resistant, and insulin being a growth factor can contribute to cancer development. But cancer does not cause cancer. However, cancer cells are not able to use protein and fat for energy, and they can only use sugar. There's new data that clearly shows that cancer cells are able to store sugar for future use. There's also recent data on a pretty large study from Europe that shows that 1,6 fructose bisphosphate, which actually is something that the cells easily convert from sugar, it stimulates an oncogene that makes cancer more aggressive. Wow. So there is data. Of course, Otto Warburg back in 1956 first discovered that cancer cells use sugar even when there is oxygen, and there is a big sugar is a big issue, and
and that's why you wanted to. You couldn't find a product out there that was that didn't have sugar in it. That wasn't so sugar filled, I guess is the right word. And that was important to you based on your knowledge of the fact that maybe sugar doesn't cause cancer, which I hear out there all the time, but it certainly feeds the cells like you were talking about.
Right. I mean, that's why we use PET scan for detecting cancer. PET scan is basically based on a radioactive sugar that the cancer cells picks up, and then the cancer lights up.
I didn't know that.
Yes. PET scans use sugar, just radioactive sugar, and that's what lights up the cancer. Wow. So there's a reason for that, and I guess that's kind of
that's good to know, because I really didn't know that. I mean, I'd heard about the sugar part. All right, so tell us why. I love Willow. You're a doll, because as usual, I'm so fascinated by the topic, I'm off topic. Can you tell us more about why the supplement you formulated has whey protein? So I was actually asking you earlier, for somebody who doesn't, I know it looks like I do, but somebody that doesn't work out, And thank God does not have cancer. I've never had to deal with anything whey, and I've always wondered what that even means. So can you talk a little bit about that and why it's important in your product?
Yeah, whey is a milk product that if you let the milk sit, the solids collect on the bottom and the whey on the top, and this is further purified. Whey is very well known in the sports industry. And people use it. It's extremely good protein to build muscle. Now, whey has many confirmed benefits over any other source of protein. It was shown to prolong life, to improve physical performance, and of course, building muscle. It also was shown to help gut physiology, protect the skin from radiation. But most important, why we use whey is the muscle building. Whey has the highest branched chain amino acids of any protein known, and that is what's used to build muscle, to help muscle recovery, especially leucine. Leucine is one of those branched chain amino acids. Whey is extremely rich in that, and leucine is the single most important amino acid to contribute to muscle building.
So why is muscle building important?
Well, cancer patients suffer from multiple problems and a variety of issues that all contribute to weight loss. One of them is muscle wasting. Muscle wasting can come from the cancer itself. Cancer secretes factors like tumor necrosis factors that decreases muscle. Of course, malnutrition, all the nutritional issues, partly from cancer, partly from chemotherapy, nausea, vomiting, problems with the mucosa, mucositis, ulcers, diarrhea, and of course the fatigue and the debility. If you are sedentary for a week, you lose 10% of your muscle mass. So every cancer patient with curable or with metastatic disease, they will have some decreased muscle mass.
Wow. All right, so I want to talk about the study, right? We have to talk about the study. Did we talk about this?
Yes,
study.
I think,
so talk about the study, and because I want to talk also about what's happening with the products once we get past the study. Let's talk about that.
Yes, there is an extremely important study, and it's extremely relevant because October is Breast Cancer Month. Today is October 1st, so I like to kick off the Breast Cancer Month by talking about this extremely important study. Why is this important? This is a study that was published just this June in the Journal of American Medical Association, and it's a study that was done in Kaiser Permanente in California as well as Harvard Medical School in Massachusetts. The scientists were looking at around 3,200 breast cancer patients with stage 2 and stage 3 disease. This is extremely important because this is curable disease. These are not metastatic. We knew that muscle wasting and decreased muscle mass are important in metastatic breast cancer. But in stage 2 and 3 disease, these people get chemotherapy in what we call adjuvant setting. It is to prevent cancer from coming back, and these have curable disease. But the study showed that if you have a decreased muscle mass, there's a 41% higher chance of dying. And if you have an increased fat and decreased muscle mass at the same time, you have an 89% chance of death while on this treatment. So these are patients with non-metastatic disease, and this is the largest study so far that shows this. Non-metastatic breast cancer, everybody needs muscle support because that will improve the survival, it will improve your ability to get your chemotherapy, and for muscle building, the best thing you can do is the whey protein, and our whey protein is actually better and purer than whatever else you can get.
So talk about your Tronco, all right? So you formed the company, you have this idea, which is more than just an idea, it's based on so much solid research.
Yes.
Again, this is where his PhD part comes in too, right? So you've got the medical background and the nutritional research background. You know what the cancer patients are missing in their diet or the opportunity for them to take nutritional supplements to help them through their chemotherapy, to help them through their treatment. But how do you bring that to fruition, and how do you choose how to make the product? Because it's unique to me, especially when I heard it the first time. When Willow brought it to me the first time, I had never heard of a nutritional supplement and that's okay to say, supplement, a
It is a
nutritional supplement that is specifically geared toward cancer patients.
And that's exactly what's new about it. I did a lot of research, and Power Onco, which is the name of our product, NutriOnco is the company, Power Onco is the product for cancer patients, is based on scientific research. Each ingredient that's in there has a purpose. It's a whey-based, extremely high-quality, pure whey-based supplement which has additional ingredients but no added sugar. It has nucleotides to support immunity and the guts. It has probiotics, prebiotics, bromelain, alpha-lipoic acid, and this is just to mention a few.
Sure.
So these patients have a special requirement. Cancer cachexia, which is the weight loss, is a complex problem, and it's not just the nutrition, but also inflammation, decreased immunity, infections, fatigue, chemotherapy. A lot of factors contribute to the deterioration of their nutritional status, and these factors have to be addressed. There's ample data that shows that if you just give nutrition to cancer patients, they're not going to gain weight. You have to address the additional issues. So with Power Onco, we are addressing not just nutrition, but also the specific issues of immune boosting, organ protection from chemotherapy, and I'm talking about the mucosa, the heart, the liver, the skin, the nerves. There are special ingredients that were proven to be effective in this setting.
So how did you, when you came up with the concept, how did you say, all right, now I'm going to go back about the scientific journey of making sure they all work together, that they have the purpose, which is what I love. I love that everything's got a purpose in there.
Yes.
It's not, there's nothing in there that you haven't thought through, you and your team haven't thought through about why it's in there. Because a lot of times, and I want to talk a little bit about this, you probably have to battle the medical community, I imagine, initially, going, well, I mean, how is this something really I want to engage and I want to bring into my cancer patient's life?
And that's one of our biggest challenge, to bring it to the patients. A lot of people do research and they find us, and we have been out since June with this product, and people who've used it, we have extremely good experience. It helped many people, and they'll recommend it to others. But we really have to get the doctors, the oncologists, to realize how helpful it is in many
Why are they hesitant, Peter?
Well, first of all, so far I don't think we've reached enough oncologists. Number two, I think oncologists concentrate on their traditional treatment, which is working, and it's really important. And everything else they look at as an alternative treatment.
Right.
Power Onco is not an alternative treatment. It is an adjuvant treatment. It's a supplement. It actually helps people tolerate the traditional treatment better.
Right.
And that's the key. They tolerate it better, they do better, you don't have to dose reduce, you don't have to skip doses, delay doses, or stop the treatment, because people will actually, and are, as we have seen already in many different cases, they actually do much better with the treatment. Many patients just fly through the treatment without any problems. And what's also important, and many cancer doctors are afraid that these supplements will interfere with their traditional treatment.
That was the thing I was going to ask.
And many will. Many will. There's a lot of things out there. But in this product, there is absolutely nothing that interferes with any chemotherapy. It's all known vitamins, electrolytes, and other compounds that are helpful. We simply did the research and put them all together in one product to make it more available and cheaper for patients with cancer.
So Willow brings up, so patients need to focus on maintaining a proper balance of a variety of nutrients, a pure, clean product. I'm assuming that's what it says, because Willow, we can't see it on this end. But I think what you're talking about is this product has the nutrients in there, because you're losing all of that during treatment. You're losing so much, you're fighting it, you're sick, you don't feel good already, you've got the cancer you're dealing with and the treatment you're dealing with. And so you're losing, and you're not eating probably your best, even though you're supposed to. You're not retaining, if you're not putting any good nutrients in your body, there's nothing they're left to fight. And so having the nutrients that are in Power Onco and from Nutronco is super important to rebuilding that, or helping them rebuild that. That's why the whey protein you talked about earlier is so critical.
Extremely important, extremely important. Yes, our whey protein has 110% of the WHO recommended amino acid. It has all 20 amino acids, essential and non-essential. It's known that cancer patients are unable to make even non-essential amino acids that the body normally makes. And of course the essential amino acids we cannot make at all. And as I mentioned, a lot of the branched chain amino acids to build the muscle. So the protein gives an extremely high quality amino acid base to build the proteins and the muscle. But then there's other ingredients that, you know, the vitamins, the electrolytes that are missing or decreased in patients with cancer. And that's what we're trying to replenish and support. And many of those vitamins will help prevent and treat nerve damage, neuropathy that many chemotherapy can cause. The B-type vitamins, the alpha-lipoic acid, the probiotics help with gut physiology and immunity. Nucleotides also help build up the normal inside layer of the blood, of the intestines, so the absorption is better. Nucleotides also help with immunity. That's the single most important nutrient to boost lymphocytes, cells that fight infection and fight cancer as well. And of course wound healing and the ulcer healing.
Sure.
So we try to address many issues that all would otherwise contribute to deterioration in this patient.
So a few takeaways, and I know we have a few more points, but a few takeaways for me. It does not interfere with your treatment. It's not there to be an alternative to your treatment. It's there to support and help rebuild while you are going through the treatment, because of all of the things that you're being depleted of and the difficulty of you maintaining your immune system, maintaining the integrity of your immune system, all the nutrients you're missing out on, everything, it's helping to rebuild that. And you've formulated that to make sure it doesn't interfere. So as a patient, I think a lot of patients are taking their treatments more seriously and becoming more proactive as they should. And this is, in my opinion, you know, I don't have a medical degree, so I can say what I want to say. In my opinion, I think that if you are fighting for your life or fighting against this disease, I would want to be in charge of how I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. Now, I may know nothing about radiation or chemotherapy or any of the other treatments, but if I can take a supplement that I know is not going to interfere, I don't know what the risk would be. And just because my physician, who you love and trust, you should always love and trust, it doesn't mean that you can't do some things on your own to take control over what you can, because at that point you feel like you're completely out of control, that you have no control over anything, and this is something that you can do to be proactive.
Absolutely. You bring up a huge point. This is very true. Patients with cancer lose control of their lives, and they feel helpless, and that's a terrible feeling. This is one of the possibilities that will give you back some control over your life. And I know that most doctors will agree to use this, to take this throughout treatment. We've had several experiences now with patients taking it, doctors who were initially a little bit skeptical. They all came to realize how amazingly this works with the side effects with the blood counts. We had patients with who had, because of religious beliefs, did not want to take or get any blood products, and taking Nutronco, the blood counts not just normalized but were beautiful during the treatment, except when she stopped taking it, and then when she restarted taking it, they went up again.
Right.
So, and the doctors become believers, and they start using it, and this is wonderful.
Look at the smile. He's got the smile on his face when he's talking about. All right, so we have a question. Hi, Hayes. Does Power Onco work for cancer patients undergoing radiation treatment?
Yes, yes, it does. As I mentioned, in the way clearly was shown to protect the skin during radiation. So that's number one. Number two, the probiotics and the nucleotides and other things in there, zinc, selenium, calcium, they all boost the immunity, and immunity does help. Then also the wound healing, with radiation there is problems with the skin, and inflammation and ulcerations can happen, and of course pain. And again, it does not interfere with radiation. Radiation typically works by creating free radicals, and the free radicals will damage the DNA of the cancer. This supplement does not interfere with that process. So it is great for chemotherapy, for radiation patients, especially when you're, for example, getting radiation to the head and neck area, and then you have problems swallowing. And on that note, I would mention that you can use this through a feeding tube if it comes to that, for example, with a head and neck cancer.
All right, so before we part ways and I ask you for your parting words of wisdom for everybody, what do you want Power Onco? What's the next step? Who are we trying to reach, and how can we help as the audience? How can we get the word out? Because one of the things that you can't fake on the show, which is why I love live, is you can't fake the passion and the care that you can see when Peter talks about how it helps the patients, how he started it, how he formulated it, why he did. So that's such a testament to you, and I feel like the more people that can hear your message, the better. I've had so many friends that have gone through it, many that have passed, God bless them, many who are survivors and going through that, the things that they had to deal with. I think I told you my daughter is a oncology nurse, and so every single day she is dishing out chemo of some kind, many days a week, and when she gets that text message where one of her patients has passed, it's just a painful thing no matter what. And so if you can figure out a way to give them the supplements to help through their journey of what they're going through, because it's a crazy journey, people, if you haven't been through it or you don't know anybody who has, wow. So what do you want to do? What do you want to do next? How do we reach the people? What's your vision?
Well, word of mouth is very important. Number one, we're trying to reach everybody, and whoever tried it and uses it are recommending it. So if you watch this show, look at our website, nutronco.com, nutronco.com. Talk to your friends. Everybody knows somebody with cancer.
Amen.
Everybody knows somebody with cancer. And many times it's going to be the friend, the sister, the mother, the daughter who buys this product from us. We talk to them on the phone. We give recommendations. So that is what we can do. Obviously, we are also trying to reach the doctors, because once doctors realize the importance and how well this works, if it comes from the doctor, that is, much more powerful, and we will get there eventually. So spread the word, and that's pretty much what.
All right, you're a joy to have on, my friend. Always a joy to have on. See, it wasn't that painful. You can't, when you speak from the heart like you do, there's nothing that the audience doesn't love about that. So when you speak from the heart and you're trying to get something out that you know will help somebody in need, you can't fake that. So that's why I think live is good for you. People watching you, when we share this video, when we share the show, we get it out to all of our contacts. I think it's so important to see Peter on here, to see you on here, because you can tell the love and you can tell the passion about what you're doing, and that is worth its weight in gold.
Well,
So,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you to Willow and to Hayes and everybody for putting up with the crazy change. Thank you to the Grand Bohemian, for Justin and to I'm losing my mind right now, but to everybody here. I'll give you some shout outs later. The lighting's perfect, but it's really all about the message, right? So nutronco.com, and we're going to share all of Peter's contact information, how you can reach out to him, Willow, whoever you need to reach out to. But seriously, This is amazing stuff. It's heart stuff. It's good stuff. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys are awesome. We love you. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow soon. Anyway, got lots going on. Mwah.